Okay, so welcome to the audition. Welcome to the performance part of the audition. So there's three other parts. We have rudiments, we have techniques, and sight reading, and we have the performance. So watch the videos on all those other things just as well. This is the big one though, so this is going to show our performance abilities. You may want to watch this video, I'm going to say a lot of times. Maybe put it on your favorites. Maybe put it on your iPod and listen to it on repeat, because this is one of the things that you need to really understand to do well on the audition. Okay, so those people that really watch this obsessively and catch all the little details will probably do a lot better than the people that think they just get it. Because I can guarantee you there's going to be some twists in here that you may not have caught the first 7 times you played the piece. Alright, so let's begin. First of all, when you're practicing this piece, you want to practice only a measure at a time. I know you think you can do all 20 measures. Learn them first before you put them all together, okay? So when we're doing highly detailed music like drum corps music, we want to really figure out each technique and figure out the finer details of the music before we go on. The person that learns just kind of the basics of it and goes through it all and then tries to just rep that until they can do that perfectly isn't really going to do too well on the audition. So you really want to make sure you understand every minute detail to it, to every bar, and then put the bars together like that. Yes, it's going to take a while. That's the point. But that's how we have a 6-month marching band season. It's not supposed to be done in 6 days. Alright? So let's take this from the beginning. We're going to go a measure at a time. I'm going to break down. Obviously, when you're at home, you want to take each one of these measures, how many times? 100? Yep, sounds good. Alright, so here's bar 1. Notice I did it 4 times in a row without really stopping. When you get it, that's how you're supposed to practice this type of thing. It's a muscle memory thing. It's like going to the gym. You don't do 1 push-up. You do 10, 20 of them. Okay? You need to do them a lot to get to gain the muscles to be able to play. All right? So I'll just assume you're going to remember that, and I'll just go through the piece little by little. But you remember to break down each measure and do them 10, 20 times before you go to the next one. Okay? So we start at mezzo piano. We have a little tenuto accent on the 2 and, that little line slash note. That's a half accent. So our regular ones are here, our half accents are here, and then our regular notes are here. So 3, 6, 9. Okay? Okay? Second measure is this. Now you probably notice now those slashes through the notes are diddles, so we play 2 left hands, 2 strong left hands. Okay? Then we have a flam paradiddle type thing into a diddles. So take this measure half at a time. Do this first. And then the next half. Put them together. That's probably one of the hardest measures in the whole thing. I put it in the beginning on purpose. Okay? So, to scare you people, guys. No, just kidding. Just so you know. Just so you know, the beginning is kind of meant to be really detailed, and then it opens up a little bit. Not to scare you off, but more to get you to realize that we should practice really hard on that in the beginning, and then take that same approach throughout. Alright, anyway, bar 4 is this. Oh, it's singles at the end. Okay, so if we put all that together, it's this. Notice it's a big crescendo. Starts at the edge, bring it to the middle. You get extra bonus points. I'll know you watch the video if you do that. Hee hee. This is where we open up. I'll give you the 2 bars at 5. Okay? Big, use your arms for those. See how I'm moving that? See that elbow comes up? Play with your arms there, okay? The next two bars at 5/4, measure 7 and 8. So remember the slashes are 16th note rolls, so feel that. Kind of hard, it starts on the left. Alright, and then those two bars again, we have some diddles in the next bar. Alright, here's one of the tricky dynamic parts. This is probably the second hardest part to the piece. We bring down and we have, if you can make it sound nice and pretty like that, oh, love it. I love that tenuto accent. So we have that really like gradual tapered off roll there. That's what that means there. And then we have an inverted, kind of like an inverted lefty, lefty little lick in there. Oh, I think there's a name for that. It's used a lot, but it's one of those things nobody ever talks about. Alright, so those two bars combined. That's a tricky one. So watch that bar 10, that is. Watch that a lot. That's that little lefty, the 16th note in there. Really tricky. Alright. Then we open up again. It's the same as this first 5/4. And then we have a little tag out of that. Alright. So one of the other things you want to do when learning pieces like this is you want to find the sections. So we know that phrases are like sentences, and we know that sections are like paragraphs. We want to make, the whole thing makes the story. So we want to take phrases, which are usually 4 bars, and add the phrases together to make sections, and then add those sections together to make a piece. So that beginning 6 bars is kind of like your A section, then the next 4 bars would kind of be like your B, and then the next 3 bars is actually your, kind of like your C. Alright? So once you learn those 3 measures at like 10, 11, 12, 13, then put them together as like a section. And do that for the whole piece. Alright, here's the last section. Looks familiar because we did that at A. So that's the next tag. That's bar 16. And then we have the 17 that we paired to the diddles. Okay? If you don't know paradiddles well enough, just wrap that as an exercise in itself. Alright? This video is getting long, so let's wrap it up. Let me show you the trick at the end. Oh, you made it all 8 minutes and 41 seconds. Now you get to learn the trick. So we do the traditional spin. I don't know if you can see it too well, but we're doing something like that. We spin to matched. And that matched, it's like an old cadets thing. They kind of point to the sky while they do that. Oh, it looks cool. If you can get it, cool. If you can't and you mess it up at the end, don't worry about it. I don't care. Don't even play the trick. So the last 2 bars are this. It looks cool if you get it. It looks kind of silly if you don't. So if you can get it, cool. Throw in the twist at the end. If you can't, don't worry about it. Alright, so I gave you a little practice philosophy. I lectured you a little bit. I did a whole bunch of things. But here's the basic bottom line. You will do as well as you practice. If you practice well and you practice smart and logically and a lot of those things I said, and doing a lot of those things that I said, you'll probably do well on this. If you think you just want to cram and try to get it in, I wouldn't bother too much. Alright? So practice smart, we get smart. Good luck.